On today's Primetime Local News, as wildfires burn throughout Alberta and Saskatchewan, local firefighters are joining the efforts to put them out. And Ottawa renews an anti-gun and gang violence program. Plus, there are changes to the way family doctors are paid in Saskatchewan.
Prime Time Local News, serving the Lakeland and Midwest regions.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. I'm Jace Mackey. We begin tonight with news of the wildfires in both Alberta and Saskatchewan. Lloydminster Fire Services were deployed Sunday to the county of Grande Prairie to aid in putting out wildfires, which will take approximately 1 week. 4 members and a chief officer along with a pump truck and command vehicle was sent to help with the ongoing wildfires in Alberta. Fire Chief of the Lloydminster Fire Services says they have a dedicated team and support staff working around the clock to ensure they're well prepared to provide the high standard of emergency response. As of today, there are 100 active fires in Alberta and 405 have been reported this year alone. The City of Lloydminster would like to remind residents that there is a citywide fire ban, which includes backyard fires, wood-burning smokers, and charcoal appliances. To check the status of fire bans throughout Alberta and Saskatchewan, visit Alberta Fire Bans and saskpublicsafety.ca. Also, to report a wildfire or irresponsible behavior that could start a wildfire in Alberta, call 310-347 or 911. Residents of northern Saskatchewan are returning home after a wildfire that threatened their communities was contained. A state of emergency and evacuation orders for La La Ronge and Clearwater River Dene Nation were lifted Sunday morning. Residents were asked to leave their communities about 600 kilometers northwest of Saskatoon on May 3rd and 4th as a fire threatened highway access. There were around 400 evacuees from the Clearwater River Dene Nation in Lloydminster over the weekend. Wildfires in Alberta continue to rage and the situation is volatile. The Prime Minister says he spoke on the phone with the Premier of the province, Danielle Smith, and promised federal support.
I assured Danielle that we will be there to help. We talked a lot about the different ways the federal government can help, and we will be working to make sure that we're supporting Albertans right across the province as necessary.
As I mentioned earlier, more than 100 fires are burning across the province, forcing tens of thousands of people from their homes. The Prime Minister didn't share many details on the conversation, but Smith says it was productive and that Alberta has requested special assistance from Ottawa to deal with the fires, including military support. And now it's time for our weekly look back into history as we take a look into the archives for this week's edition of Retrospect. We start off Retrospect this week in 1994 as the installation of Lloydminster's now famous border markers doesn't go according to plan.
People lined the streets in anticipation of watching Lloydminster's 4 100-foot international orange border markers be erected today, when something unexpected happened. 2 of the towers didn't line up properly.
The base plate of these two towers that you see in front of you are switched 90 degrees.
It was a little disappointing that the 2 bases at the far end were out about 90 degrees on the bottom of the markers. But I understand they're going to correct that. They're going to take the base off and just realign it.
But not everybody was disappointed with today's mishap, as Gene Sloan, president of the LDCCA, who at one time led a petition against the border markers, was pleased with the miscalculation that resulted in today's delay.
You'll forgive me for saying so, but it was high glee. I figured that's the ultimate of the whoops factor.
2 of the 4 markers did get put up today, and according to City Commissioner Roger Brecko, the problems that occurred today could be a blessing in disguise, and they are not something to be worried about.
There's no urgency. There's not an urgent problem with the project. It's unfortunate, but this isn't the first project where towers have been built and base plates haven't fit, and it won't be the last one. And unfortunately, or fortunately, from the public publicity that the community will get out of the base plates not fitting, it's probably going to even be better across Canada because there'll be a little more controversy and coverage in the process.
The contractor doing the work, Dawson Wallace Construction, wouldn't do an on-camera interview today, but NewsHour learned that they plan on doing an investigation into who's responsible for today's mishap and say that the other 2 border markers should be up by tomorrow.
And fast forward to this week in 1998, new renovations to the Wainwright Hospital are completed.
Now we can declare our new renovations officially opened.
MLA Robert Fisher officially unveiled renovations of the Wainwright Hospital today, which will provide improved services for patients.
We have a newly expanded nursing care station, and we also have an expanded medication room, and we've relocated our special care unit to be closer to the nursing station. We have a newly developed palliative care suite and a newly developed labor and delivery room suite, as well as a day surgery room.
Tours were given to the public, and I was lucky enough to get my own tour of the renovated area. New work to the hospital included a new family room for meeting loved ones, as well as a labor and delivery room. This provides more privacy for expecting mothers. Having improvements and upgrading healthcare is always a growing concern.
With hospitals like anything else, you have to keep continually upgrading in order to keep constant. You can't take a step behind or you're way behind. So no, it's a definite plus for the hospital, for the community, and we wish them all well with it.
This has been our week in retrospect.
Retrospect this week is brought to you by Webbs Ford. Worth your while to drive the extra mile. Webbs Ford in Vermilion.
The Edmonton Oilers look to take a 2-1 lead in their second round series tonight when they host the Vegas Golden Knights in Game 3. The Oilers are coming off Saturday's 5-1 victory, splitting the first 2 games in Las Vegas. It was a dominating performance, and the Oilers hope to carry some momentum with them to their next 2 games on home ice. And of course, we wish the Oilers the best of luck in tonight's game, but that's not the only NHL event taking place. We'll find out tonight which team gets the first pick in the NHL Draft Lottery. It's also nicknamed the Connor Bedard Lottery because the Star Center is projected #1 pick. The 17-year-old with Regina of the Western Hockey League had 143 points, including 71 goals this season. The first round of the draft will be held on June 28th, and rounds 2 to 7 will be the following day on June 29th. And now it's time for us to check in once again with Shelby Clark for another look at weather.
Thanks again so much, Mr. Jace Mackey. Yes, we definitely are cheering on the Oilers for tonight. Make sure to rep them, get out there, get your jerseys on, whatever you can for merchandise, and make sure to represent, because I do think we are going to be winning this one tonight. Hopefully, knock on wood in case I jinxed it. Taking an extended look at your weather forecast, starting off with our central zone of the provinces, we are definitely looking at some different kind of conditions from what we have been seeing throughout last week. Now for today, starting off this week, most spots are just sitting at those teens, what it looks like on our Alberta side. Most are just sitting at 15 degrees. Then we have 13 there in Red Deer, and then over in Rocky Mountain House, just sitting at 8. So we even have Rocky Mountain House at that single digit. So we are looking slightly cooler, but of course we kind of need these conditions and hopefully some rainfall coming up here, as it has been getting pretty dry and seeing all those grass fires. Now switching over to our Saskatchewan side, they are looking slightly warmer compared to Alberta side here in our central zone, as some spots are even just sitting at that 20-degree mark. Meadow Lake and down in Saskatoon, and the rest are just a few degrees underneath. 18 degrees in Prince Albert, and then we have 17 for North Battleford and over in Melfort. So looking still not too bad on our Saskatchewan side here in our central area. Going over to our northern zone, they are actually matching with us more in our central area, even looking slightly warmer in some of these spots. 21 for Uranium City and down in Flin Flon, while we even have 22 up in Stony Rapids, just hitting that 20 mark there in South End, and the rest are just sitting around 18 to 19 degrees. And going back over to our Alberta side here in our northern zone, they are looking slightly cooler from what they have been seeing last week as well, of course, as we were getting even closer to that 30-degree mark. Now we are just cutting it back and going back to those mid-teens. 12 degrees seems to be the coolest on this side with Slave Lake, and the rest are just a few degrees warmer. 16 for both Peace River and Fort Chipewyan, while we have 17 degrees for Fort McMurray and down in Grand Prairie, and then we have 19 up in High Level as they're just underneath that 20-degree mark. But now as we go over to our southern zone, they are matching with us more in our central areas. They are looking slightly cooler. Lethbridge seems to be the warmest there, just at that 18-degree mark, and the rest start to cool down from there. So looking at that 15 and 14 for Medicine Hat and up in Coronation, and as you go a bit farther out this end, they start to definitely cool down with 12 degrees in Calgary, and Banff is just sitting at that single digit with 9. And now going back over to our Saskatchewan side, they are looking a lot warmer compared to Alberta side here in our southern zone, as they are closer to that 20-degree mark, but still sitting at those teens. 12 degrees seems to be the coolest there over in Yorkton, while it is 15 down in Estevan, as they are kind of in the middle. And then most spots are just hitting 17 right now, and Kindersley seems to be the warmest, just at 18 degrees. But now as we look at some overnight evening lows in our surrounding area here, we will be looking at those plus temperatures once again kind of continue on. We are seeing those warmer temperatures for our evening lows, so our evenings are still pretty beautiful from what I can see, especially on this list. Looking at a low of 6 seems to be the most popular temperature for Meadow Lake, Provost, Isle Cross, and Paradise Hill. Bonnyville will just be a degree warmer with that low of 7, so we will be looking at some beautiful temperatures for tonight, and all of these areas here have around a 25% chance of some precipitation, but mostly expecting some cloudier conditions later on in the evening. Looking at our Tuesday here in the Border City for our hourly forecast, we will be looking at a beautiful day once again tomorrow. Hopefully seeing those showers, as we are just hitting that 20-degree mark in our mid-afternoon for our daytime highs. So we will be experiencing still a nice temperature with a mixture of some sun and cloud. But however, as we look a little bit past that to our 7-day forecast, we will be experiencing around a 70% chance of some showers later on. So hopefully we will be getting that rainfall, kind of help, definitely get some moisture and some wetness out there. We don't really have any more grass fires. Hopefully it will start to ease down a bit. We will see those showers continue on to our Wednesday as well, with that 40% chance at 21, and then we start to warm up from there. Thursday and Fridays we head into the weekend, 22, 24, and then even hitting that 32 on Sunday, just in time for Mother's Day. So be prepared. After these showers, we will be looking at some beautiful days ahead. And that's all I have for now. Our Jace Mackey will have our news coming up after the break.
Today we have Alan Rogan, the athletic director at Lakeland College for the Lakeland Rustlers, and he is here today to tell us a little bit about the Lakeland Rustlers charity golf event, which will be taking place at Rolling Greens Fairways. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Alan.
Thanks for having me.
All right, Alan, so let's talk a little bit about the charity golf tournament, kind of when it's taking place and what exactly it's supporting for the Rustlers.
So basically the golf tournament is going to be August 29th. As you said, Rolling Greens Fairways is going to be working with us this year to host the event. The funds from the tournament are going to go to help offset some of our championship costs, for championship travel costs for our teams. Over the years, more and more of our teams have made the championships. We have more teams heading off to nationals now, so obviously with more teams attending more events, our costs have risen significantly. So this event will pretty much solely go to support championship travel and help offset some of those increasing costs.
Awesome, and especially for the volleyball team and how successful they were this
Yeah.
year. Tell me a little bit about the tournament itself, kind of what the style is, and for our golfers who are eager to definitely get out there on the course right now, especially with how nice the weather is.
Absolutely. So basically, it's a scramble tournament. So groups of 4 can register. Basically take the best ball. We want to move through the tournament quickly. So you don't need to be the greatest golfer in the world. You can, if you're sort of like some people, if you hit the occasional great shot, you can be on a team, and your one shot counts. The whole idea is to make it fun. It's about an environment. It's not really that competitive environment. We do have competitive golfers that come and golf to support us. But it's about getting out, having some fun, golfing, hopefully a great day weather-wise with the people around you, and just enjoying the event. So we'll have a few little games and stuff on the course as well throughout the day, and then it'll wind up with a big steak supper at the end of the day that we're gonna, Rolling Greens is gonna be cooking and putting on for us. So it'll be a full day, but it'll be a great day. Basically, registration starts at 9, shotgun at 10. You can register online if you go to our Go Rustlers site and put your team in there.
And then just for for the Rolling Greens, they are a very helpful crew. They help out. So how about them being able to step up and be able to, especially that steak supper, that sounds actually absolutely wonderful. And they've also been the main course that you guys have had this at for many years as well.
Well, yeah, so actually Rolling Greens we're going with the Rolling Greens this year. In the past, we've hosted at Lloyd Golf and Country Club. They've been a great host, great partner with us. But we're involved in the community as an institution, as a program, and we want to kind of work with everybody. So this year we're working with Rolling Greens, and we know they're going to do a great job as well, working with us to put this event on. So we're looking forward to a great day and a great event.
Awesome. Is there anything else you would like to particularly mention with the tournament and just with the funds going towards the championship travel for the teams?
No, we're looking forward to another great day. We've hosted the tournament for a number of years, and it's we just want to continue to grow the tournament and grow the event. Like I said, registration can be done online. And we're still looking for a few sponsors to help sponsor some of the on-course events. We're looking really forward to working with NextGen, who's our presenting sponsor, to put this great day on for people who want to come out and golf. And even if you don't golf, there's still the opportunity for you to come out and just pay for the steak supper and enjoy the environment after everybody's come back in from golfing. So, we're trying to touch on as many areas as possible and have as many people join the event as possible.
All right, perfect. Well, it sounds like an absolutely wonderful event, and hopefully it'll be good. Be sure to go to Go Rustlers if you guys are interested in competing in that tournament to support the Rustlers Championship chips, and we will definitely be keeping up with some more golf news coming up very soon.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for Primetime Local News is Arnie Barron with the Legacy Center. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Arnie.
Thank you for having me again.
Really glad to be able to have you on here and help get the word out, because the Legacy Center's fundraising golf tournament is coming up pretty soon here, and it's going to be happening in June at Rolling Green Fairways. So we really wanted to be able to speak with this and just help get the word out ahead of time, because we know this is a big event, and I know it had to be shelved through COVID. So really glad to be able to know that this is coming back here. Now, starting off, I guess, with the most simple kind of backstory on this event, can you kind of explain what it's all about for people out there that may be unaware?
We started it in 2019. We had our first tournament. It was a huge success, even though we did get partially rained out. The golfers were great, and we had a good time at the banquet afterwards, and it was a good time. We raised about $45,000 for the Legacy Center. Just to let you know what the Legacy Center is about, it's a senior center. It's run by the Lloydminster Senior Citizens Society. We have employees that work there. The building is owned by the city, but we're responsible for all of the upkeep and maintenance and salaries and whatnot that go on at the Legacy Center.
And I know with this event, this had to be, shelved through COVID, of course, like many events were. So how does it feel to be able to bring this back?
It feels great, and the response that we got from our community and our sponsors has just been absolutely wonderful. We're full on our par 3 holes. It's a unique tournament, unique to Lloydminster. We turn Rolling Greens into 18 par 3s, and there's lots of prizes up for grabs.
I know for right now, you are looking for people to enter to help raise funds, correct?
Yeah, we're looking for the golfers now. We've got most of our fundraising done. We still need to procure a few prizes and whatnot for the tournament, but the fundraising's pretty well done right now, other than what the golfers are going to supply with us with through the silent auctions, live auctions, 50/50s, mulligans, things like that.
And I know for people out there that may not be aware of what exactly will be all involved with the prizing and everything for this year's event, can you kind of expand a bit more on how much is going to be involved with the prizing and what all will be there?
Well, right now we've got in excess of $300,000 worth of prizes that could be available, but to get that, they'd have to have a hole in one on every hole, which is probably not achievable. But we're hoping that somebody's going to get a hole in one. We have a sponsor, Skyline Refrigeration and Capstone Dental. They're our major sponsors. They're sponsoring a hole. It's valued at $50,000. We have also McCaw's Funeral Home, the McCaw family, our sponsor, platinum sponsors. They're sponsoring a hole that's worth of $25,000. And then we had two of the car dealerships in town. Hyundai is putting up a Hyundai Kona, and Denham Chrysler is putting up a Jeep. So those are going to be available too. So it's cash, basically cash and cars. We've got cooperators. Superior Water have also stepped up with their own insurance and helping us with the fundraising. They're two $25,000 holes. So, and then all the rest of the holes are $10,000, except for hole 12. There's going to be a prize. We couldn't stretch that out to the insurance requirements of 150 yards. So there's going to be a prize for the hole in one, and if that hole in one's not won, then we're going to auction that gift off at the end of the tournament.
Wow, there's some really big and great prizes for this year's event, so it sounds like it's going to be a good one. Now, for everybody that just kind of wants to find out some more information on this year's golf tournament, where can they look online?
They can look online. We've got an event page. It's called the Legacy Par 3 Hole in One Tournament. They can go on the Rolling Green website. They can go on my Facebook page, Arnie Barron. It's all over Facebook. It's been pushed out there quite a bit. They can also call the Legacy Center. I don't have the phone number handy here, but you call the Legacy Center, call Rolling Green. There's posters up around, and we're looking for golfers now.
Perfect. Is there anything else you'd like to add, Arnie, that I may have missed out on just what's going to be involved with this year's golf tournament?
We're going to be having the Big Brothers Big Sisters are going to be there. We're supporting them through our 50/50 raffle, and they're going to be providing a safe ride home for those golfers that have a few extra wobbly pops during the golfing time, and we're going to make sure that everybody stays safe out there. We're also looking for volunteers. If you want to just volunteer and come out and have a good time. The golfing is actually $150 per golfer, and that includes your tee time, includes a cart, golf balls, golf tees, your breakfast, lunch, and supper. So it includes a lot of stuff. So if you just want to come out and golf and you don't get involved in the mulligans and the 50/50 and the auction, you can have the whole day golfing for $150 and you get everything included.
Well, that sounds fantastic, Arnie. Seems like it's going to be a great event for this year. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today.
No problem. Thank you very much.
Ending off with another quick look at your 7-day forecast. We will be looking at another beautiful day tomorrow for our Tuesday. 20 degrees. We will be seeing a 70% chance of some showers, which is very much needed. So please enjoy it, because that will continue into our Wednesday, and I think we need as much rainfall as possible. So this is great news. Then as we go past our Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 22 and 24. So we are going to be even warming up from there after these next couple days. And all these days we'll be experiencing a mixture of some sun and cloud. And as we head into our weekend, be prepared. We are going to get some scorchers. 27 Saturday and 32 even Sunday, just in time for Mother's Day. So make sure to take your mama out and have a good day with her. And as we head into next week, we will be looking at that 25 on Monday.
32 degrees. Holy, thank you so much for that, Shelby. And thank you all for joining us as we start another week here on Primetime Local News. Have a great night, and we'll see you back here again tomorrow.